people are enjoying the weather out there because it's finally broken and it is warm. This is Greg Roten for Armstrong Street Scene Power Hour with my hosts, John Lesaganich and Rick Guerrera. We welcome Rick Guerrera back. We shouldn't even talk to him because, you know, he was just out in Vegas and Arizona, so I'm kind of jealous. But well, welcome back. And, you know, we have a special guest with us. He's been with us before. He's a friend of the show. Adam Pratt from Youngstown Cycle and Speed, and we will get to that in just a minute. Hi, Adam.
Hi.
And we'll get to him in just a minute. Let's go over some stuff. Now, we'll start with Rick since he's been gone all week and not even thinking about Street Scene Power Hour, which may be a good thing. So
Yeah.
give us a little rundown. You did see some, you know, you went somewhere and you did see some cars out there. So why don't you give us a little insight?
You know what? There wasn't very many cars out there, especially in Vegas. You know, it was, you know what? I saw a lot of those big limousines, you know, the GMCs, the Lincolns,
Yeah.
all those, you know, and that's what that was out there. You know, I figured after a while what it is, people don't drive their cars out there. They rent those limousines and come in. And there was a bunch of those out there. There was a couple of nice cars, but I thought I'd see a lot more. But Vegas is crazy. If you've ever been to Vegas, it's crazy. We got to see the Sphere, which was really neat. And I wanted to see the Grateful Dead was playing out there. And I wanted to see the Grateful Dead. And like we couldn't put it. I was the only deadhead there, so no one else.
Well, I was going to say they're pretty grateful because a lot of them are dead. So yeah,
no, just one of them.
Just one of them. Jeez, well, they're near it.
No, anyway, they got John Mayer out there filling in. So John Mayer is hell of a So the Sphere, however you say it, is pretty impressive. We got to see a movie in there yesterday, and it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Big as hell. Big. But Vegas is crazy. If you ever been to Vegas, spend a couple of days there. Anything after that, it's just like, okay. You lose all your money within a couple of days. I lost a whopping $20. So.
Oh yeah, you're smart. I'm the same way. I never win anything. So I'll bet $10-20 and I lose it in the first 4 minutes and I'm done.
That was me. But then there was like 10 of us that went together, which was way too many people to go at one time, you know? So we rented a big Mercedes-Benz van that fit 12 of us. And then we drove to Flagstaff. Okay. For the weekend, we rented an Airbnb. And then from Flagstaff, we went to Sedona.
My favorite.
If you've never been to Sedona, I tell you what a beautiful, beautiful city. All the rock formations and everything. Just a neat city.
Yeah, because last year, you know, again, I was half born and raised out in Arizona. I spent, you know, almost every year out there. So last year, me and my wife took a side-by-side out through Sedona Desert up near up to, and you could go right under the mountains and see the Indian ruins. And That's cool. You just rode right up and you just walk right through it. That was probably the most fun I've ever had. It's just incredible. And plus have a side by side in the desert. You don't get better than that.
No, that's neat. That's cool. That's cool.
That's really cool. The desert's pretty neat, pretty barren, not much out there.
Rick, you didn't do the Hoover Dam?
Oh yeah, we went to the Hoover Dam.
Okay.
We went to the Hoover Dam. There's not, you know, you could spend a couple hours there. You know,
it's cool though. I mean, it's
cool to see. Sure.
Yeah.
Got to see the Hoover Dam.
Yeah, I gave Rick some, you know, I didn't know how far you were going, but there's a lot of places you can see. Lake Havasu is gorgeous. It's hot as hell. It's gorgeous. And Oatman, Arizona, if nobody's ever been to Oatman, I suggest you go. It's literally, you know, it is an old Western town that's still there. And and the best thing, oh God, I can't think of, not donkeys, but anyway, they come up and
mules. Mules.
Mules. Yeah, I can't think of, but they're tame. They come up and you can pet them and everything. It's really cool. But anyway, Rick, you know,
when we were in Sedona, which was really odd in a way, but everything's real dim there at nighttime. You think the lights would be real bright, but they keep it dim Okay, and everything's painted like flat black, all the lampposts and everything. So because I guess it's got something to do with viewing the stars in Sedona, and so they keep it.
Yeah.
We walked in the Walmart to get something, and it was like, "Is this place open?" The lights were like
Rick. I don't want to bring this up, but that may be cataracts.
No, it wasn't cataracts. No.
Oh, okay.
It's all about it's all about the stargazing out there.
I know. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
There's no pollution. There's no clouds. There's no contaminants in the air. You have perfectly clear skies, and it's you can't. You think you have clear skies here? You see a few stars, not out there. It is plastered. Yeah,
it was beautiful.
So cool.
And then after Sedona, we went to the Grand Canyon. If you never been to the Grand Canyon, you got to make it, put it on your bucket list. It's amazing. 277 miles long. Yeah. And some parts are 18 miles wide, and how it was formed and everything, and how deep you're on the top looking down going, holy.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you do a lot of hiking on these trails that are probably 2 foot wide, 3 foot wide. And you're like, man, if I slip here, I'm gone. I'm done. You're going thousands of feet down.
It sounded like you had a good time.
Yeah, it was. Until I got a crud. I picked up a crud somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Well, welcome home to humid Ohio, but or Pennsylvania, one of the two.
And some sad news, very sad news for me. I lost my doggie last week after 13 years. I had to put her down, Libby. And she was my buddy. Every time I'd be doing the show, she'd be right at my feet, and everything I do.
Rick, let me interrupt. I'm going to tell you, it's been over a year since we put down our dog, little Bella, and my feelings have not changed. I still miss her. That's a tough thing to do. So I feel your pain. I truly do.
She's been a fixture in my house. I come home from vacation. I go, oh, this house is so lonely now, so empty. So,
I know. Sorry,
she was my buddy.
Yep.
Well, welcome back, Rick. We're happy to have you. And John, anything going on in your end of the world?
I been fairly busy in the career end of it, but when it comes to the car scene, I made about a half dozen trips. One as far as almost to Philly, looking at a couple cars guys had for sale. And I wanted to make a couple comments. The new Haggerty magazine came out. I know you guys probably got it.
I get it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they have it's now focusing in on what I love about the car scene. And I figured this out. I love, since I started driving cars at 16, I like the road trips. I like the drive. I like, and some of my buddies, they'll say, hey, we're going to golf this year in Florida. We're going to fly down. I said, well, tell me where you're at. I'll drive down. What are you, crazy? No.
That's half the fun.
That's half the fun. I like the road scenes, and that's what the new magazine's all about. And I like the freedom of it. You get in your car and you drive and so on. But I made a couple trips looking at some cars. 2 of them were Volkswagens. One was a 50 type car. And I'm going to tell you what. I think I move my cars quickly because I'm honest. When you come out to see my car, you know what you're going to see. But some of these guys, they advertise cars, and what they say, you get out and you want to shake your head and say, this isn't the one you had online, was it? And they go, oh, yeah. And it just
in their eyes,
oh my word! It shocks me to condition, but I did that, so I made a couple trips out there, but didn't pick up nothing. Still have the vet. The vet's my cruiser. Memorial Day, I'm planning on going up to Geneva. Take the nice cruise, take the top off, and make a run up to Geneva. So still got the Whizzer in the back, which I'm going to ask our guest some questions on, and so I'm playing around with that. So staying busy in that way. But before we go to the show, I want to ask Rick, and Rick, I apologize I'm gonna put you on the spot, and I want you to go against the traditional theory that everybody stays with, and I want you to be bold enough to answer this. What happened in Vegas?
Good. Well, it stays in Vegas. I'm not telling you anything.
What do you mean?
I'm not telling you anything. It's crazy. It's like a big freak show out there.
I know.
Then you go down to Fremont Street. You ever been down to Fremont Street in Vegas?
God.
Oh my God, that's the biggest freak show.
Yeah, I was out there for a professional boxing with Jack Lowe, one of our managers, he had Kelly Pavlik in that. And we were out there. And like you said, Rick, it's great. You're up there, you're looking around, you're looking up. It's cool. 3 days.
That's too much for me.
Yeah. I want to come back home.
Yeah.
I want to come back home. But welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Well, you know what?
Safely.
Good. Well, you know what? I want to bring up a couple things here. Obviously, literally almost exactly 2 months from yesterday will be the Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, July 21st, out at Austin Town Park. Make sure you have it marked down and pray for good weather, because this will be probably our biggest show yet. We've got a lot of response coming back. Adam, I think you're coming out to it as well.
Is that a Sunday?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I will, because I have a show I'm striping at on Saturday.
Okay.
My hometown. So yeah, I'll make both.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, we like to stretch Adam pretty thin. So yeah, Adam will be out there. He'll be doing some striping work, and just come out and say hi. So July 21st. It's Sunday. So make sure you bring anything out with wheels. Also, got kind of this thrown on me. Didn't expect to take over the reins, but this show is at Beaver Township Car Show. We're going to trying something new. They came to me to kind of head that one up, and I have it posted on our Street Scene Facebook page. It'll be posted on Armstrong's page as well. It's a Beaver Township Car Show and movie night. We had a movie night scheduled as Armstrong sponsored it, and they threw a car show in. So basically a car show, anything's welcome. Car show at 4:00 starts. It's July 27th, right after our big show. July 27th at Woodworth Park. It's right up here in North Lima on, I think it's Mercer Street. Car show and movie night. So what we'll do, we'll have the car show 4 to whenever, and once dusk hits, we're going to show Herbie Fully Loaded. And because we needed a kid-friendly, we're going to have family night. So we'll have some refreshments and popcorn and stuff. So stop out. Just stop out for the show if you want. If you want to hang around, watch the movie. We have a 20-foot movie screen, and there's plenty of room. And I'm going to try to set up where you can even watch the movie in your car. You can tune your radio in and sit in your car and watch the movie like an old drive-in. So that's what we're going to plan to do. Yeah. So it'll be pretty cool.
Are we going to record it?
No, please no. No, you know why? Because I'm the one that has to set up the movie screen. I have to run the movie. I have to run the sound system, the video system. So I don't have time. So we will not be shooting that one. So July 27th at Woodworth Park. Make sure you stop out and enjoy the fun there. So, well, we've got Adam Pratt, and we've had Adam Pratt for many years on various episodes of Street Scene and couple of episodes of Street Scene Power. We want to welcome you back, Adam. We're happy to have you. And the first order of business I want to clear up, Youngstown Cycle and Speed is still in business. Please don't let the old building down on Market Street fool you. It says it's closed. And then Facebook and Google, if you Google it, it says it's permanently closed, which is not true. Don't ever read they're out. And let Adam, we're going to let you tell us where your new location is, and it's awesome.
It's 124 South Market Street in Lisbon, right across from the courthouse. So building was built in 1898. Kind of a cool building. It was a hardware store its whole life. We have a wall of like shelves that were all handmade 100 years ago. The third floor is actually an Oddfellows ballroom. So just a really cool building with a lot of cool history to it.
Yeah, so, you walk into this building, and again, it's all oak wood flooring. It's got, like you said, the cabinets. It's really cool to see. They've set it up really, really nice. It's not like the old store where you walk in, it's like almost a retail store. This has got some history to it. You got to stop down. They've got a whole bunch of motorcycles in the showroom. And, it's right by the courthouse. You can't miss it. It's worth going to see just the showroom and stop by and talk to Adam and Mike Krawcheck down there. And then you have the shop in the back, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a bigger shop space back there.
It's a bigger shop space.
Yeah.
Yep.
What I like about the old building is, and we talked about this on a show before, I get a kick out of old building, the old structures, and especially old gas stations. And there's a couple in Youngstown that are really cool. There's that one on Oak Hill. It's a white one. But anyway, in Girard area, I'm going to stop out there. I got some questions for you on today's show in reference to a motor bike I picked up, and we'll talk about that. But I'm just going to stop out to see the building itself, because I'm intrigued by those old buildings. I just love them. So great move on that part of it.
Yep.
So, Youngstown Cycle and Speed, well known for working on motorcycles. You got motorcycles parts, but you know what? The best thing about Adam's business is they expanded it. You can't, with the business 101, you can't be in just one type of business anymore and expect to stay that way. You have to kind of do multitask, do different types of businesses in one location. And you know what? That's what you've undertaken. So give us a little rundown of what you all do at Youngstown Cycle and Speed.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, we're probably into too much stuff, but it's one of them things. We know how to do everything. Why not capitalize off of it, So myself, my day pretty much consists of pinstripe, airbrush, painting. That's all I do. Like, my painting is so backlogged ever since we got down there. I actually have a waiting list now. So rocking and rolling with that stuff. Matt is our fab guy. He does fab work, he does mechanics, and he's been kind of just running the showroom. Also, like, we've been custom making shift knobs, and we've been selling those on Etsy. They're selling like crazy. Sometimes I paint them. Sometimes they're just ready to roll right off the, we have some VW ones, Greg. I think we made you one, didn't we?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. Okay.
No.
Yeah. We sell a ton of the VW ones. And then Timmy's our mechanic in the back, and he does pretty much everything. I have another mechanic starting here in a few weeks also. So that'll at least speed us up in the shop a little bit.
Yep. So, there's just a lot. There's a lot going on. You still have, your passion obviously is Jeeps as well. So are you still dabbling into Jeeps Jeep parts?
Yeah, and it's what's really cool down here is it's like primarily CJ customers I get, which is my specialty. Like, I've built countless CJs, and that's like where my passion's at. So I know every square inch of those things. So yeah, we do that. We still do hot rods and stuff too. Mess with those every once in a while.
Yeah.
Adam, there was a time when I did nothing but CJ7s and stayed away from the CJ5s. They were just.
I'm a 5 guy.
Really? They're a little tight though. They're a little smaller than the 7, correct? I mean. Yeah,
they're like, I think it's 8 inches shorter.
Yeah.
I have mine. I actually call it my soul vehicle. So it's a 78. I was born in 77. It's been with me since 80. So
is that your dad's?
Yeah, it was my dad's. It was actually one of the shows you guys interviewed me.
Sure.
That was my dad's, and then he sold it in 92. I bought it back in 93.
So do you miss the 4-wheel drive place in Columbiana?
I actually worked there. Yes, I do. I worked there for 16 years.
Oh, then I probably spoke to you. I used to go. I missed the place. That was my stop too, and I just used to love watching through the window. You guys work.
Yeah, I love that place. Like I said, I worked there until the very end, and I missed that job. We were like a big fan.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a hit. That took, what he's talking about is 4-wheel drive hardware, correct?
Right.
Yep.
And that was out in Columbiana, and that was a pretty big outfit. Did everything, just a lot of work, a lot of parts you could buy. And the next thing I knew, I looked and they were going out. It's like, really? Now why? Well, Adam, why? What happened there?
Thank Polaris. Trans-American decided to sell to Polaris. They were never even in there. In the year that they kept us there, like, never got involved with us. From day one, they wanted to shut us down. So we tried running it. They wouldn't help us with anything. And like I said, they had it in their mind. It was a write-off, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? That was a bad move on their part. That's what happens in this day and age is you get a business and they buy them out and then they just close it down, but they don't even give it a chance. They could have made a ton of money keeping that business open. They just don't understand.
And it was honestly corporate greed because Trans-American, they were trying to open, I think, 100 stores by 2020. This was 2016, I believe it was. and they were looking at taking on they wanted to take on some more partners to be able to do this. And then Polaris came in and wanted to buy everything, and you know what I mean? Money talks. So
well, I really missed the place. I mean, I bought tubs out. I mean, I would buy anything out there and go out there, and I'd have maybe 2 or 3 CJs in the backyard. Neighbors would complain, you know, hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But,
what do you do?
I just got a kick out of the CJ. I absolutely loved them. And someday when we have a story, I'll tell you the story on how one of my CJs forced me into taking my first home equity loan. But that's a long. that's a long.
Greg, speaking of Jeeps, I have a booth up at Bantam in a couple weeks.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to go shoot that show, but that's a lot of walking. I'm still really not anywhere near where I need to be walking. And I've got some issues going on that I won't even get into, since nobody cares at this point about it. So
I care, Greg. I
care. Greg, I also care.
Greg,
so we care.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try not to do as much walking until I can get back on my, so to speak, on my feet. So, but where was I going with that? Anyway, I had to ask you, have you worked on any military or flat fender Jeeps?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because my dad, he was in World War II, and right when he got out, he got a surplus military Jeep out of World War II, which he drove around for years, and that was his first down payment on a house, was a Jeep. And it's kind of cool, but I was like, man, I wish he still had that, because I'd love to have one.
Yeah. So, Adam, at the cycle place, you work on any motorcycle, any make, model, year?
Yeah, for the most part. So we specialize in vintage. We specialize in mainly British Harley, but we work on anything. Now, there's stuff after 5 years in business, there's stuff I'll turn down because I just don't want to be I don't want the headache of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you say? British Harley? British Harley? Is that what you said?
British and Harley.
Oh, British and Harley. Okay, I was going to say what?
So if somebody brings up a classic Norton or a Royal Enfield or a Triumph or a Beezer, they can bring them to Youngstown Cycle. Yeah,
matter of fact, we got a couple Nortons in there now. We're building a Triumph ground up. So
what year?
It's almost done. 69, I think that one is.
Pretty cool.
I got a couple Triumphs in there. I got an old Harley Sprint in there right now.
Yeah. So Rick and Greg, when you want me to ask the question, let me know, because
Well, no.
About my motorbike.
Well, all right. Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Go ahead.
Well, we'll start with this, since John's been hinting around at this for weeks. Yeah. What'd you buy? Let's go back to the beginning with John. Okay. What did you buy, John?
Okay. Through one of my deals, and Adam, I'm the guy on the show that finds the cars, enjoys them, drives them, and then
for about a week or two. That's all.
Week or two, but and then I flip them. I just love the seeking classics out and finding out about it. I just get a kick out of that. But anyway, I sold a 72 Super Beetle convertible, really nice one. And through the sale, and I always, when I sell my classics, I always offer partial trades, because I tell somebody, hey, what do you got? If you don't want to spend the money I'm asking, what do you got to cut down the cash out of your pocket? I'll consider it. So a guy sends me pictures. He comes up, I cut the deal. So in my back garage, I have a 1946 Whizzer, no D at the end, Whizzer motorbike.
Yep.
And this thing was redone for show some time ago. It looks great, but it's been sitting in a guy's den somewhere and hasn't run. Great compression. I can get it to sputter. Got good spark. I haven't done anything to it. You guys think you could work on a Whizzer?
Yeah, we've done a couple of the Chinese kits that you put on bicycles. We've done a couple of those, so we can pretty much figure anything out.
I just may drop it down just because I'm busy and plus it shows nice. So until you get to work on it, it'd be great in that old building.
We'll put it out the showroom.
Yeah, see, what the best part about their building is they have the old windows that you can kind of bow out. They can put bikes up there, which, Adam, you have bikes up there already. Yeah. So it's really cool. So
hours of the shop, Adam, when you guys open?
5. We're 10 to 5 Monday through Wednesday and Friday. We're closed Thursday, Saturday 10 to 1, closed Sunday.
Okay.
Gives you a couple of days off at least, which is great.
I'm usually striping or something. Tomorrow I'm actually taking the day off for myself because we did the gentleman's ride 2 days in a row, like this weekend, and I'm whooped, man.
Yeah. Now, how did
and
that
Saturday
go?
was rough. Like the bike broke Saturday. The panhandle broke my oil tank. So that was a mess getting it back to the trailer. And then luckily I had my Thruxton on the trailer, unloaded it, and finished the ride.
Oh, geez. You know what? You've been talking about that, the gentleman's ride. Give us a little details of what that is and where it's at and what happens on that ride.
Yeah. So I started doing it back in 2018. I started riding it. I picked it up the first year I got to shop. I think it was, I think 2019 was the first year I did it, or 2020, something like that. I became a host for it. So I brought it to Youngstown. So that weekend, it's always in May. It's always like the third weekend in May. The whole world does this ride at the same time. We raise money for men's mental health and prostate cancer. Everything's online. The signups are online. Like everything's done through the gentleman's ride. I take care of getting my local sponsors. I take care of arranging the route, all that stuff, any entertainment I'm going to do for them. But yeah, it's geared towards vintage and classic bikes. I allow anything in, but we all dress up in suits. We dress up all dapper and stuff, and we ride.
Pretty cool.
If you check the Facebook page, we have some photos that Samantha, forget her last name, Samantha Neal took. Sam with the Cam's her business name, and they're just phenomenal. What she did, she follows us around the whole time and takes pictures and stuff. So we took some down Beaver Creek. We had a really nice ride this year. But yeah, we ended up having 35 riders, which it's come up because the first year I had 50, and then the last couple of years it kept raining. So like I would only get half the people that were signed up.
Yeah.
And, this year we have 35, and like that night I had people messaging me saying, "Hey, what is this? I want to do it." So they're following the page. So next year we usually open up registration in March.
Okay.
But we will do our ride on Saturday because we ride Pittsburgh on Sunday.
Okay.
Cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, just a really cool idea. And obviously, now where did you ride to this year? What was your kind of your road scheme?
We pretty much pulled out, went up Lincoln Highway, then we went up Route 7, looped through Beaver Creek, come back out on 7. We come into Columbiana, had a break at Firestone there. Like I gave the guys like 45 minutes, and we just hung out, went to the bathroom, whatever. And then we paraded all through Columbiana, and then we went back to the shop where Napa actually did a car show right across the street from us. So we tagged with that. We had all the parking in front of the shop, like the police gave us the whole street. And then there was a band playing that night. There was food trucks. So it was a cool little thing.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, and you know what? You mentioned something. I had to go. I'm going to stop right there because, as you know, for the Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, Youngstown Cycle and Speed always makes our trophies. So people love it, and we love it. And I'm going to show you a couple that Mike, fabricated and Adam painted. So if I can even get this to show up, it's maybe not.
Ice cream cone.
Yeah, it's the ice cream cone. It looks like an ice cream cone.
There it goes. Right there. Oh,
there you go.
Funny. There it is.
There's the top. This is kids pick. So there's it's got
that's
a
cool.
it's got a pinion
really
gear.
cool.
It's got the pinion anyway, bearings, and then the pinion shaft and the base. And then have to show this one too if they can see it. It's the spark plugs. So this is cool. So this is one of them too. And there's Adam's work right there. So most unique. It's really cool. And then they made all our other trophies are made. People just love them. So
the pinion gear trophy I need because when I for maybe Rick will remember, I used to race my Mustang out at Meander, and every time I went out there, I blew my pinion gear because I used to wheel hop so bad. So I need that trophy.
You need the old traction bars for that.
I need. Those are beautiful. Those are actually art.
Greg, wait till you see the ones Matt made for our show on the 15th.
Now that's another thing I was
It's a
going
whole new level, man.
Well, on June 15th, we would have come out to your show if we had already committed to another show ahead of time.
Better cancel it.
What's So give us a little update. You've got a show June 15th, and it's out at the shop in Lisbon. So give us a little details on that.
Yeah, so we're calling this one the Lisbon Rumble, and it's going to be we're going to connect with J Mullen Motors, so it'll be our back lot and their lot. So we got plenty of space. I'm probably just going to set up the thing and stripe all day up there. We have David Lloyd and the Ramrods playing. We have some craft vendors. We have a couple of food trucks. Trying to think what else. We're doing a auction for Jacob's Heart. That's who we're raising money for, which is a local charity that we teamed up with. Should be pretty cool. It's cars and bikes, open to all years, all makes and models.
Okay. And so that's up at the shop, and that's at June 15th. And that sounds like it's going to be a really good show. So, and then
I have a huge one we're going to do October 5th. I'm going to get this one out of the way and then start the stuff for that. But it's benefiting a buddy of mine from my hometown. He lost his son tragically, and he left a 1-year-old baby behind. So we're going to have a huge fundraiser to raise money for him. Like I said, it'll be October 5th. I'm still in the planning stages of it, but it will be huge. Okay,
good. And I know you don't have much details yet, but is it going to be down in Lisbon as well?
Yeah, it'll be at our shop.
Okay.
Our shop. So
good. So yeah, we'll update you on our Facebook site once, if you check out the Street Scene Facebook site on Facebook, obviously, I have been kind of sharing like Cool Time Cruisers, any local car shows that come up, I'll reshare them. So Adams will be another one that I'll reshare once I see it. So
sounds like a lot of shows coming up. Adam, let me ask you, how backlogged are you on the mechanic end of the motorcycles in the shop?
It depends. Quick stuff, tires, oil changes, stuff like that. We try to get in and out pretty quick. We're still picking through the bigger jobs from winter. A lot of it is you get so far and then you need parts and you got to stop and wait, and you know what I mean? But we're okay. We're, as of right now, I can usually get stuff in within a week or two.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep. So, basically, we're going to, while John's coughing his head off,
I tried to shut this mic off and it didn't work.
I rigged it that way. Adam, anything, give us a little history on, I know you worked at 4-wheel drive hardware, for people that don't know about Youngstown, it was Youngstown Cycle Supply back for years and years. Give us a little history on why did you start and all of a sudden you wanted to do this business? What got you?
I don't know. I ask myself that every day. When you get the headaches, it's with the business. No, I think it's like just my whole from 16 and up, my whole working career has been parts business, being a mechanic, being a painter, like all that stuff. So it just when I found out Jim was going to put it up for sale, just being nostalgic, being a customer and stuff like that, I thought, I'll get into it. I wasn't even really into bikes at that time anymore. You know what I mean? We had a kid and it was just, I got out of motorcycles for a while and, just decided to do it. And like for me, it was awesome because it just took my paint stuff to a whole new level. And then met a lot of great people through it. And I study under the wizard, you guys know that. So, he's been teaching me a lot. We paint a lot and, I have a good time with him and everything. So that's where my passion's at. So the business has been building that for me. So.
Yeah. So
in other words, other than bringing bikes now for mechanics, they can bring them to you at the shop for the painting and pinstriping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And you could bring, how about cars themselves? And they bring them in for pinstriping. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I've done quite a few. I usually try to do them outside. If we can't fit them in, I'll do them at my house or even Mullins. I got a thing with them that I can use that from time to time too. So,
you've done pinstriping and awesome pinstriping. That is, there's got to be, again, I like to get these oddball questions to you. There's got to be one car that was like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. Why did they want to do it? Is there one that sticks out in your head? You don't have to I don't want any names, just want a story.
Not really. There's a food truck that I have coming up that I'm supposed to be doing lettering and stuff on. And it's going to be one of those, like, it's going to be a huge job. So we'll see with that one. But yeah, that'll be a pretty big one. But I mean, for the most part, it's just, I enjoy doing it. So it doesn't really phase me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there a standard request on the type of pinstripe? Does everyone differ?
Most people just give it, like, do what you want, which is the best way to do it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Every once in a while I get somebody that's kind of specific on it. But Greg, you know what? I am going to answer your question. And he's
took him a while to think about it.
You knew he had something.
Oh my gosh. There's this car that I just painted. It's that Model A in there, right? And I painted this car a couple years ago. So I had the bright idea this year. I'm like, let's flame this thing. So we flamed it, and I can't just do flames. I have to do metal flake flames, which means you got to bury them in clear coat. So I'm dealing with a car that's flat purple, and the flame job, like, bury it in clear. Then we decided to do true fire and ghost skulls, and just it got out of control really quick. So unmasked that, and I'm thinking, this doesn't look right. Like, the whole car needs cleared now. So we got the car finished at the shop, brought it to my house, and got it all wet sanded, prepped. We were ready to roll. I was ready to clear this whole car being gloss, right? So I had this idea. I'm like, I'm going to buy this new spray gun. So I bought this, like, pretty top of the line spray gun, and totally different than what I ever used. The adjustments are all in different places and stuff. So I started spraying with this thing, and it's spraying like a hose, right?
No.
Yeah. So the visor looks amazing. The roof looks amazing. I turn back around, there's runs coming down.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
As a painter, it's just like, whatever. You start messing with adjustment. You try to blow them out the best you can. What are you going to do? You wait till the next day and you sand them out, which is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So sanded them out, come back the next day. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to clear this thing again. Start throwing another coat of clear on, get runs elsewhere.
Oh,
and
God.
It's nothing I'm doing out of the ordinary, nothing like, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
At this point, I'm getting agitated, right? And I'm starting to, I'm getting very agitated with this. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go by myself, and I'm going to wake up early in the morning. I'm just going to do this before work, and I'm going to go in late, and I'm not going home until I'm done. I used a gun that I have painted with probably hundreds of times and never had a run.
Yeah.
Put the first coat on, boom, it was like glass. Walk in the house, walk out, put the second coat on, boom, like glass. I come in, I walk out. There's some very mild runs in the door.
Well,
so at that point, the customer's a buddy of mine. So at that point, like, him and I are playing phone tag all day. So I called him, and I'm like, dude, my next step with this car is I'm rolling it outside and setting it on fire.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
That's it.
Yeah. Because it had to have been jinxed. There's no way that,
I'm going to tell you what I blame it on, because I'm a very, like, spiritual, religious person, right? And the license plate is 6V6, and it says "honk if you love Satan" on the back of it.
No,
it's a joke. Like, it's a joke that he has that on there, but I told him it's because it's his damn Satan car.
Yeah,
so
I know that.
You know what I mean?
So did you ever get it right? Did you get it right?
Yeah, it actually looks really good now. So, and it was one of them things that was the weirdest thing, because I walked out the next day. A lot of the runs that were prominent, when that clear cured, it cured flat.
Yeah.
So it was like, it actually worked out really well. But
I don't think most people realize, and you just gave a great explanation. I don't think most people realize what's involved in whether you're doing graphics, pinstripes, or just a clear coat, 3-4 stage paint job. What's involved in a paint job? No, and
I'll give you an example. I'm painting a Honda right now, and it's panels, right? Like fairing, all that stuff. And I kind of have, she gave me pretty specific stuff to do. There's a lot of airbrushing on it, a lot of striping and stuff, but I got a panel paint too. So the one front fender, somebody at one point, something happened up there and they tried to blend paint and it looks horrible.
Yeah.
So I had it ready to spray today, shot the saddlebag, shot everything sprayed good. I sprayed that fender, dusted my first coat, dusted the second coat, the whole front of the fender cracked where their paint was. So tried a couple different things. This happened probably 3 times. I finally ended up sanding it down, repriming it with my primer, let that dry, and then now I got it. Now it's cool. But yeah, people don't realize that.
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
And let me ask you the question that and you're a professional, so you'll know, and most of us our backyard painters know. What's the average time frame to shake one of those rattle cans before you paint?
To shake a rattle can?
Oh, come on, John.
What? You don't paint with a rattle can?
No, I was gonna say. I was gonna say. I can guarantee.
Forget that question, Adam.
Here's again. I paint too. So here's what I've run into. When you started talking about how that paint cracked and all that, I almost guarantee, they didn't either use a hardener in the paint on the front of that. Was it a bike that cracked?
Yeah.
They didn't use a hardener or they used rattle cans because every time I've tried to prep something that's been sprayed with a rattle can, it cracks every time. I have to sand it all down, and it's frustrating because you don't know. It's like, well,
no, and then the temperature, like if there's humidity in the air, like
forget it. Yeah, I won't touch any paint if there's humidity. Forget it because it'll dull it, and it does not dry right. I don't care if you have a hardener, it doesn't dry right.
I try to stick primarily with just doing the artwork on them and stuff. So I have a guy now that I send it out, like if the customer wants it, it's extra charge, of course, but like I'll send it out and he can cut and buff it because I have no way to do that. I don't have the time to do that. You know what I mean? I gotta keep producing. So I just send that out to him. Just like my body work. When I have somebody that needs body work and stuff, unless it's something little, I have a buddy that I send that to and he'll sandblast it, body work it, give it back to me in primer.
That's good. That's good. It's good to have. And then his work. You can almost guarantee his work if you trust him like that.
Rick, Greg and I and Adam, we spoke before when we had a show where we talked about buying classic cars, and people don't realize what's involved with that. They see an old junker come in on a TV show and it's done in 30 minutes, and they think we can do that.
But TV ruined it.
Yeah. Oh, they did. Yeah. But here's the when I look at cars to buy. Mechanics, obviously, I look at, but they don't bother me that much. You know what really bothers me? If it needs extensive body work, paint work. I mean, I can't do that. The cost and your description of what you do and going in the house, coming out and back and forth. And that is so time consuming, costly, and you got to know what you're doing. I mean, it isn't taking off some nuts and bolts and putting a new part on. So I commend you on your powers there. That's great stuff.
The point is, when you paint, and you've got to stick by the rules because you stray from them. If you're putting a tack coat down, you see a spot you kind of hazed over and it's real thin. It might be striped a little bit. Walk away, let it dry. You don't overpaint it. I've done that. That's the way I learned when I was younger. I'd be like, there's a little spot that's a little thin. I'd put over and it starts running. Like, God, I should have just walked away.
Just let it go.
Yep. So my question for you, Adam, do you use a nibbler when you have a run? A little nibbler that it's got a blade in it. It's a little block and you cut it and it actually cuts.
No, I've seen that. Typically what I do, believe it or not, like if I get like a big run, usually when I get them, they're very faint that honestly, I'm probably the only one that sees them. But
little sag or something.
Yeah, but like on that car when we had them, what I was doing was while that clear was wet, I would touch the bubble with my finger, like where it protrudes at to flatten it. And then when it actually like cured, it would cure flat. So when you go to wet sand it out, typically when I have one, I usually just wet sand it and then I just re-clear it.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a process in itself, and you're right. People don't realize, and people that paint, like Adam does it professionally. I'm just a backyard painter, but it's a lot of work. And again, 90% is in the prep work. They say that, and it's so true. Yep. If you see a wave in it in your body work, it's going to show up in your paint.
Yeah.
So there's no way around it. So just fix it while you've got it out. So,
interesting stuff.
Yeah. So, any plans? You've moved your shop. You're in Lisbon now. Please, you're in Lisbon. You're not closed.
Nope.
So we want to get that straight. Plans for expansion, which since you moved the shop, what are your plans?
Right now, my plans are the overhead's way cheaper than it was in Boardman. And like I said, we're picking up a little bit. So I want to get through this next election and hope this economy picks back up. What I want to do is get the debt paid down so I can actually start growing the business. So that's what's killing me right now is just all the startup that I had. And then you figure we opened 6 months later, COVID closed us in our busiest 2 months of the year. And then it's just been like, how everything's been going the last couple of years. So it's been a struggle. Like if we make it through this, we'll be fine, but I just keep focused, keep the hammer down, and it's all we can do,
No, if you're like the rest of our middle class, we don't have money to spare at this point. Everything's so expensive. So hopefully that'll turn around here in the next year or whatever. So I'm just grateful that I'm doing my passion, which is like the paint stuff, the art stuff. Yep. Well, you know what? You're blessed because you're still in business. If you look how many local businesses are closing now? Oh yeah, you see it every day. It's like, because number one, they don't have help. There's nobody wants to work. There's nobody to work. And then the overhead costs are just too much for them to bear, and they're not selling anything anymore. So that's the real problem.
Hey, Adam, you still doing those metal plaques?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are neat. I want you to do one for my 69 bird. Greg has one. I think it's one.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to show this. This is
that's the rat rod.
Yeah, he did this is a Rick photo that I gave Adam to, he just copied Rick's face and painted it. So see, look, if you look at this, see, Rick's got a red nose and, a red face, and you see it's red right face, here. Man. And look how big your nose is, Rick. It's right here.
It's big enough. It's big enough. You got to make fun.
I just recently painted a portrait of Rick on the back of a car over at Jay Mullins.
Well, is it butt cheeks?
Butt ugly.
Smoking a cigar.
Yeah, there you go. So, if you need like I said, Adam's done. He does. Matt does from what I understand, he does the cutouts in a CNC machine.
How do you go about doing that? Say I want to get one done on my Firebird.
So one thing that we do that most, like anybody with plasma tables typically don't do, we custom draw everything. So you send him a picture of your car. He'll basically do the drawing in the computer. He'll send it to you to get the okay before we cut it. Then he cuts it. It comes over to me with the picture of the car, and then I airbrush it, and then I hammer it with clear when I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Who do I send? Can I do it over the internet?
Yeah.
Who do I send?
Send it to our email. Our email is youngstowncyclesupply@gmail.com. That's the best place to send it.
And it's a bargain. I'm going to tell you, if you want a gift, I gave my son, he had that 3000 GT. He just got another one, so it still works, for a birthday gift. And he absolutely loved it. Hung it up in his room. So, they're
definitely one of a kind. And they're about 20 inches long. Those are $70. That's a starting price for them. Mm-hmm. And then we can make them bigger. We can backlight them. Like we've done all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. So he did my cars. I'm going to have another one soon, hopefully for you. But they're hanging in my garage.
You can see samples too, because my old gasser that I had and my 64 Bug, I have those two in the shop right now. So just a sample.
So, any plans on getting anything else buying? You don't have your gasser anymore.
No, so. I actually went to Kentucky back in October and picked up a shoebox, and I brought it home. I was going to hold on to the gasser, and really nice guy contacted me like 2 days later. And here, like I knew of the guy, and him and I had a similar story. So it's in the right hands now. So I let that go, and I've just been driving the crap out of that shoebox.
Yep.
So I think it's going to get air ride next. I think that's the game plan.
There you go. And if you saw his gasser, it's been on our show a couple times. We had it out at
Rust
Belt Revival. I always think it's a Rooster Rally. I don't know. It gets all that R stuff. Yeah, Rust Belt Revival is an awesome show. It's one of the best ones in the area, if not the best one.
The one downtown Youngstown.
Yes, it's incredible.
You got to see that one. It's
actually be at the what's the one in Trumbull County Fairgrounds? Rockabilly Ruckus. Yeah, I was actually invited to stripe up there this year because I striped up at Piston Power, so I'm going to be striping up at the Ruckus this year too.
Oh, so that's so cool! And
that's a cool show.
Do they still have the track going too?
Yeah,
you can take. Yeah, it's tempting. I'd love to do that.
So Adam, you got. We spoke a little bit about the economy and the cost of everything, but you know what's cool that's going to keep your business going is this hobby. No matter what the economy is, this hobby continues to go. Car guys, bike guys, are bike guys.
Stuff. So you can't not be cool. Like we sell cool. So
you're right. You're right.
You're an authorized Moon dealer, right? So that's cool enough. You don't see that anymore.
What is that?
Order as much from them. It's a lot of their stuff's on back order. Like the last couple of years, been hard to get stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Greg, you said Moon.
Yes. You don't remember Moon, John? That's been around.
I do. I thought he said Boone.
No, Moon.
Moon.
Yeah. Classic. So
the big eyes. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's one thing about this. One thing about this hobby. It doesn't matter if everybody's dirt poor. It's still a passion. People are going to still do it.
Right.
Another thing I'm a dealer for is Alpha Enamel, which is pinstripe paint, and Mac brushes. So I have a lot of people that'll come in because this area is real heavy on that. I have a lot of people that'll come in that want to get started and stuff, and I'll sell them paint. I have a decent selection of brushes. It's mainly stuff that I use that I know work, and I'll help them get started with it, give them some tips and stuff like that.
And how many brushes do you actually use? I mean, again, I'm clueless on that.
I have 3 brush boxes that are full. Plus I have 2 cigar boxes that a retired sign painter handed down to me. So I don't know. I have probably 150 brushes, I would think, but I only use a handful of them, like maybe 5.
I was going to say, I'm like, how do you know, if you've got 150 brushes, how do you know what's for what? And, you have to know your stuff.
Yeah, it depends. Cause like there's swords and daggers, which are your basic pinstripe brushes, which are for running fine lines, running curves, stuff like that. And then you have your scrolling brushes, which are a little bit longer, skinnier. Typically when we use them, we hold them straight up and down. And that's how you get all your swoops and stuff like that. And then you have your quills, which your quills are your lettering brushes. So those things tend to flatten whenever you're pulling the letter and stuff. There's liners like for doing outlining. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's horsehair.
What's horsehair?
Are they made out of horsehair?
Some are squirrel hair, some are synthetic. I tend to like the natural hair ones better. I just have an easier time with them. I think they flow better.
Even just, I hate to say it, I am not a painter other than going a house paint, but I won't buy synthetic brushes even for house painting because it just doesn't work to me. Got to have the horsehair brushes or something that actually soaks up paint and keeps it there instead of this. You get the synthetic ones and the whole paint until you put it down and just leaves streak marks and all sorts of stuff.
This conversation, and even when we had the Wizard on, it just amazes me that how involved pinstriping is. Everything down to the brush and down to a synthetic versus horsehair, and the artistic talent, Adam, that you guys have. It's just so interesting to me, and it's something that, again, going back full circle, even with the economies up and down, that's a talent that you're always going to have, and somebody's always going to be seeking. I can guarantee that.
I always try to grow at that. My big thing I tell everybody is and it's a hard part, is like, don't get an ego off of it. Like always try to learn. I mean, if I ever think I'm start getting good at something, I'll go watch Steve do something, and it's just like, dude, what are you doing now? It's like 1 minute he's doing one minute he's airbrushing gorillas, and then the next minute he's engraving on a tombstone and stuff. So it's just like, I tell him all the time, like, how am I supposed to like try to keep up with you here?
So. Yeah, that's the point. You know, you're always learning. If you think you know everything, you don't. There's always, and again, it's life lessons. You think you're the best at something, there's always somebody better. Just the way it is. And enjoy your talent.
For us that are married, we're informed of that every day.
Well, yeah, our wives are better than us, and they let us know it all the time.
Every day.
Hey, Adam, did you make it to Cleveland this year?
Yeah, I was pinstriping up there.
Okay,
we missed you somehow.
Yeah,
I think because I come up. I was up there Friday, Saturday. I was up there.
We were up there Friday, but we looked. We didn't see you. So
I think Greg was having a little bit of problems that day.
Well, so. That was a lot of walking for me. So
I was actually set up right next to Steve, so
yeah.
So Adam, what's the strangest thing you ever pinstriped?
Oh God!
Other than a car or a motorcycle, what did somebody bring?
I mean, I do everything. Like I'm coffee pots, clock. You should see the studio where I teach at. I teach art at a dance studio, and she had me and my daughter. She had us like letter windows and letter the wall and stuff. And I would go in the morning before I would start, and I would just sit there and like want to warm up. So I would grab the trash can or grab the mailbox off the wall, like. Cool. Stuff's all striped up in there. So it's funny. It's like my boss there, like she loves it. So
walk in, it's like, whoa.
I brought, I had older kids last year. They were like 15, 16. And I used to bring stuff in. Like I'll let them play with airbrushing. I'll let them play with striping, just to see if it clicks, And I had my striping paints in there the one day, and I was trying to like show them how to use it. And I went and like ripped the clock off the wall or something. And I brought it in and started scrolling on the clock. And they're like, Terry's going to kill you. And she thought it was funny.
Yes. Now, again, we often talk a lot about getting kids involved in our hobby or anything like that. Have you seen a lot of children that really want to paint and do what you do? Not as much as I like. When I see them, I kind of grasp onto them. I went to my daughter's school at the beginning of the year and did a demonstration for them and showed them, and a couple of them kind of liked it. I have a couple students that are just phenomenal, and I've been working with them a little bit because I want to start trying them at it and stuff like that. My daughter is actually really good. She won't tell you she is. She'll get mad.
That's great.
She's actually really talented. There's been shows that she'll pick up a brush and start striping with me and stuff. And she's 12.
Cool. That's awesome.
So, that is
you're about the youngest. You're about the youngest one around in Youngstown area. You know that.
I think there's some in their 30s, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, because we have Randy down here at United.
I think Randy's older than me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know how old he was, but he does striping as well. And
he's older. There's some younger ones running around. Like I said, I know late 20s, early 30s and stuff. So
okay, you know what? We're running. We got a couple minutes left. I want to run down. Where is Youngstown Cycle and Speed located? Not on Market Street in Boardman anymore, but where?
Yes, 124 South Market Street in Lisbon.
In Lisbon. So if you haven't been down there, or you need any work done, striping. Any trophies made or anything work done on your motorcycles, even your Jeeps, head down there. Even just go and walk around the showroom. It's really cool to see that old building. So, you know what? We want to I don't know where Rick went. He was showing you the speed.
I'm just trying to show off the sign there. That's all. That's
I thought you just left. I thought you fell asleep after your jet lag. So
I am. I'm out of it today. I'll tell you.
Yeah, we know that.
But jet lag and getting sick and a head cold. Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. Well, you know what, Adam, thank you so much. And we'll look forward to seeing you out at the Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show. Mm-hmm. And make sure you stop down June 15th for their car show down at Youngstown Cycle and Speed. And for Rick Herrera, John Lesaganich, my name is Greg Roten. We will see you
down the road.
Rick spoke.